It's the last task and finish group for the nighttime economy. It's been a long journey since December 2024. So over 13 months, lots of deliberation, lots of data, visits, lots of nighttime walkabouts. So, and I think as a group, we've put in a lot of effort. And I'm quite proud of what we've been able to achieve, I think, at the end of it. So my congratulations to the group members that are here this evening for all your input and all your support. And of course, a big thanks has got to go to Angela for the hard work that she's put in for the report, and to Corey for all the work that he did as well in preparation and bringing reports to the meeting. So once again, yes, thank you for everybody for your input over the months. I will start by saying that it's intended to live stream the meeting tonight, and if successful, a recording of the meeting will be available on the council's website within 24 hours of the meeting. Members and officers, please remember to switch microphones on when speaking and speak directly into the microphone, switching off after speaking. Reporting officers using Teams, please switch cameras on when addressing the committee and switch off again after speaking. Please use the hands up icon to indicate questions or comments. The chair will then invite you to speak. In the event of any exempt reports on the agenda, the live stream will cease prior to members of the public. We don't have any, but in case any join, are entitled to take photographs, film, audio record, and report on all the public meetings in accordance with the Openness of Local Government Bodies Regulation 2014. People may not, however, act in any way considered to be disruptive and may be asked to leave the chamber. Notice of these rights will be given verbally at the meeting as appropriate, which I'm now doing. In emergency evacuation from the committee room, council chamber, turn left, follow the green emergency exit signs to the main town hall entrance and proceed to the assembly point at St. George's Square. Are there any apologies for absence, please? Angela.
Yes, Chair. We've received apologies from Councillor Fatima Begum, Chris Marshall, and also Michael Kill.
Okay, thank you for that. Any disclosures of interest? No. Any references from committees and other bodies?
None, Chair.
Just to say that a welcome to Councillor Terry Keynes today, who's substituting, probably trying to do a big catch-up. I don't know how you catch up over 13 months of work, but you're welcome to participate, and if you have questions, obviously to ask any questions. So we have before us the report of the chair and the nighttime task and finish group. So the first thing to say, I don't expect it to be a long meeting, but you all had a chance to read. Do we have any questions? Oh, Councillor Keynes.
And in the closure of Wellington Street, this is where the taxi ranks are.
Sorry?
The closure of Wellington Street, you're suggesting, this is where the taxi ranks are. I mean,
Oh, you mean in Wellington Street?
what did I say? Yeah, Wellington Street.
Yeah, it is, but the intention, if anything happens, is to extend the pavement on one side. I don't think it's intended to move, so it would be a street culture primarily on one side, I think, if it happens, unless we can find a route that pleases the taxi drivers and still fits into the needs of routing through the town. I think that's probably likely to be the outcome.
Obviously, you've had these discussions
Yeah.
I'm just concerned that with a nighttime economy relies on taxi services. I think we've not got to take away taxi ranks if possible.
No, I don't think, Harry, that the intention is to try to move the taxis away from the centre. If anything happens, if it is moved out of Wellington Street, there will be an accommodation found for them. Do we have any other questions? No? Don't catch up 13 months.
Oh,
with
yeah.
questions.
I've already just read it, so that something I've always complained about is that a lot of the venues in Luton do not tell people what's going on. I've often said this to Nigel, and part of it says marketing for all different age groups. Now, I'm thinking of age groups, my age group. If you're not very good on computers, you don't really know what's going on in the town. And strangely enough, yesterday, two little old ladies accosted me in the Arndale point, complaining that they didn't know what was going on in the library theatre. And my comment was, well, it's online. And their comments were, well, we don't deal with online. So you've got to try and think somewhere along the line of including the really elderly.
I think there's a lot of sympathy with that. A lot of work has been done, but some of the roundtable groups did raise that point that we're not necessarily getting through to the wards. We're not necessarily getting through to the age groups, maybe the elderly and the younger generation. And that is something that needs to be tackled, because one of the things that's come across very strongly in the report and in the evidence and in the data is that the behaviour and the interest of young people especially has changed. It's changed a lot in the last years, and businesses need to move and accommodate that. But you're right, we need to find a way that we can get the information through. We did discuss in the past possibility of using Let's Talk and other mechanisms to try to publicise what's going on in the town. I think I understand there's an app. Not everybody is technical in that way, but there is an app. Would anybody else have something? Yeah, Mohammed, yeah, please.
Yeah, I think Terry, this was one of the issues. Not only that, but also that a lot of elderly people, it's a perception rather than reality, not safe in the town centre. So visible, policing, visible people from antisocial behaviour teams and all that is very important, and so that they can then, because we have a couple of quite a few decent restaurants in the town, but the people that do have the ability to be able to go out in the evening and afford to pay is predominantly people that are retired and that, but they don't feel safe coming into the town. So really, if you're trying to do multiple, it's not only the messages, it's just making people that they are really safe to go into the town late in the evening. Yeah, so that was one of the issues that came from many of the groups, the elderly groups that I've attended.
Okay. Yeah, Nigel, Councillor Nigel.
So it's not, I don't think there's a magic bullet for entities, to be fair, but I take your point. And when we talk to residents at our Let's Talk and stuff, one of the challenges and the issues is encouraging people into the town centre when it's dark or of an evening, but how you attract every resident in every ward, regardless of age, etc. But I would suggest that nothing or very little is done at the moment. So to put a plan together to try and promote what's happening in the town collectively, the executive to take that away and put a firm plan together with other agencies in Luton is at least a starting point. That would be my comment.
Yeah,
I'm going to play tennis.
sorry. I'm just thinking, up the Inspire swimming bars, there's a large screen which advertises all sorts of things. Can't we advertise what's going on in the town as well?
Brilliant idea. I hadn't thought of that. I don't think that's been discussed. Well, it hasn't been
I
discussed.
mean, there
in
must
meetings
be other
last time.
screens in Overlosing and other sports venues.
Sorry. Corey, would you like to come in?
Yeah, so I think just sort of more broadly on the marketing point. So I think we are reaching more people than we have previously through all of the online content that we've got across the app, social media, website. I think the gap that has been identified is those with less access to digital ways of being reached. And I think that's come out in terms of, I think it's recommendation 4, I think, is really focused on that, what was kind of discussed in some of the stakeholder roundtable sessions around marketing. One thing that we're doing this year is probably the earliest we've been able to coordinate a program for all of the events happening in the town, which we're hoping to launch next month to celebrate the 150 years of Luton's borough status. So we will have quite a detailed program that we're able to do some printed material that people can take out into wards. We're looking at some of those screens around the town as well. It won't feature absolutely everything that's happening in town over the year. The biggest challenge I think that we've got is while we prepare a lot of the events that are council led quite early, some of the smaller businesses in town, so for example, some of the pubs, are quite late in terms of organising a lot of their events just because of the challenges and resources they have. So their ability to kind of get things out marketing wise much earlier for us to be able to share that as part of our marketing for everything happening in the town is probably more challenging. But I think we've got more stuff that we can get out to people through different formats this year at an earlier stage than we have in previous years. So I think we've got a bit of a plan for a way forward that we can trial this year with some of those events coming forward, which we can hopefully learn quite a bit from.
There was a very slight mistake in the conclusion, which I wrote. My apologies. So on the page 22, it talks about the group have submitted 12. In fact, it's 15 recommendations. So my apologies. We did go through finding errors, but that was an error that unfortunately we didn't pick up in time. Do we have any other views? One thing that I would perhaps like to ask members, and also perhaps to Corey and to Angela, would we be considering, once if it goes through executive and our recommendations are approved, so the final document, would we be considering to have a launch of the report? A formal launch. Corey?
Corey, I don't know whether you are doing that, but we don't normally do that.
We certainly did it for the town centre report.
Angela, you might have to just clarify the dates at which this has got to go through to executive next, but we're planning to do a launch of our visitor economy plan when that comes out, and that will respond to and pick up quite a few of the recommendations, I think, from this report. So whether we could do something as part of that launch where we recognise all of the work that's gone into this report and how that's informed that might be a way of doing something that covers that.
In case we don't, but I recommend that we invite members to come to the launch, all members, because that is playing a key role in that visitor economy. So we invite members to come along officially to the launch.
We're looking to take this final report to the 22nd of April executive. So I don't know whether that coincides with the launch of your economy visitor plan.
To the visitor economy plan. So I think we'll be looking at spring for the visitor economy plan launch. So we wanted to get the findings of this through first before we can then make sure that feeds into what goes into the final visitor economy plan.
Once it's gone to the executive and all the recommendations are agreed, because some of those recommendations will have resources implications, yeah? So the executive might need to keep that in mind. It's no good us doing a recommendation which is gathering dust somewhere in the town hall unless it's implemented and resources are put into it. Then there is no point of this report, and 18 months would be completely waste of time. So they asked for it. The executive asked for this task and finish group. Yeah. So therefore, when they agreed to it, then you could probably do a publicized thing that this is what the local authority of all political parties have agreed. This is the view of the council. What do you public think? And I think that would really, otherwise, if we don't tell the public what is being done, then really it's no point looking at any report if the public knows nothing about it, because what we're doing is talking to each other. And that's not the point of this report, is it? Yeah? Particularly those people that have participated in this and contributed to it, attended all those meetings, they need to know what is being agreed. Is their views have been accepted or not? And they would appreciate that if there is some sort of, whether you call it a launch, but some sort of publicity that this is what you said and that's what we have done. Yeah?
100%. And a lot of work has gone in, a lot of evidence has been provided. So we would hope, if not all, a majority of the recommendations would go through. And that would form, I suppose, part of the final report at the end. But yes, 100%. Members have put in a lot of time, they put in a lot of effort, and it was asked by the portfolio holder that we do this, we've done it. So there should be recognition for the work that has taken place and a proper discussion at the executive, and hopefully to accept what we put forward.